our Creator instructed us how we should live our life in this world, how should we conduct our affairs. And we have inheritance laws, we have marriage law and divorce law, and so on and so forth. Everything is there. Now, just to understand what Islamic finance is all about, is it that we just delete the word interest and replace it with profit? Does that make that Islamic finance or Islamic banking or Sharia compliant document? No. First of all, we have to digest the concept that whatever we have in this world given to us by our Creator belongs to Him. It is for Allah, whatever in the heaven and earth. We are simply a trustee. We do not own anything in this world. We are just trustee, and we will have to account for any and all breaches of this trust, abuse, misuse, and injustices. Can you imagine if we have this kind of mindset? We will not have any disputes, any disagreements, any courts, anything like that. We'll be all very mindful of each other and our responsibilities. Whether we accept it or not, or whether we like it or not, but it is a reality. When we are born with nothing. And when we leave this world, we leave with nothing material. If we have deeds of properties, dollars, gold, whatever, nothing will do anything good to us once we are dead. The only thing which will help us or go with us will be our good deeds or bad deeds. So, what we have to do, how do we conduct our affairs? The Sharia law requires that one must have honesty and integrity, expect blessings and rewards from the Creator in addition to a monetary profit. Be truthful and not to deceive. Be conscious of social and environmental benefits rather than just monetary benefits. And this is very important. As a business person, we always look at the bottom line. What's the rate of return? How much I will make if we are evaluating 2-3 different projects? So whichever is yielding highest return, we'll go for it. But under Islamic law, that is not so. We have to weigh other consequences. Are there any negative consequences, social consequences, environmental consequences? And maximizing profit is not the most important aspect of business. Charity and social responsibility are part and parcel of the bottom line. That should be our mindset, really. Now, coming to my topic, Islamic financing and investment in North America. What happened, I came to Canada in 1970, and at that time, most of us were students. We had very limited need, but when we stayed behind, we got married, we had families, so there was a need for houses. We had a lot of discussions and debates in 70s as to how do we overcome this problem? Where do we find Islamic financing to buy a home? In 1980, as a community, we banded our head together and decided that we will do something ourselves. And we established this Islamic Cooperative Housing Corporation with 3 objectives. One was, of course, to help the members of the co-op or the community to buy a house on interest-free basis. Secondly, those who have already purchased houses under a conventional system and they were not very happy, they were upset, so the objective was to bring them into the system. And third was, of course, we had some saving where do we invest that money and earn permissible income, halal income, rather than earn interest in our checking account. The model which we adopted is the decreasing partnership model, partnership between Islamic financial institution and prospective homeowners. The type of membership in the co-op, of course, home buyers, those who want to buy a home, and those who had mortgages, and simple investors, and of course, those who already purchased home through the co-op. And we have a number of institutional investors, various mosques, Islamic centers, foundations, charities, trusts. They also became a member to help the community to stay away from interest. And many of our members, they made their children as members and started saving money in their name. And many benefited, those children when they grew, they got married, they were able to buy a house with the savings and help from their parents. And also, as a student, when they were working in summer, so they were saving that money and putting in the shares. The members, what are their commitments? They pay $75 just to join once, and they have to buy a minimum of 6 shares of $100 each annually. That's the minimum commitment, and that is because we encourage the children. And we had members as old as 1 day old baby. Parents or grandparents made them member and started saving money in the grandchildren's name. In order to qualify to buy a house through housing co-op, members have to contribute 20% of first 100,000, 25% of next 100,000, and 30% of over 200,000 cost of the house. And this money has to be invested in the co-op for at least 6 months before they qualify. The idea is that we help one another, co-op. That's what it's all about. It's not that just me, that I have this money and give me a house right away. Obviously, that was not the concept. And once our member, they get the house, they pay a proportionate rent, and they are required to buy more shares over a period of time. As they increase their equity by buying more shares, they pay less rent for the following month. So for March 31st, somebody buys 5% more shares, so April 1st, their rent will be 5% less. So eventually the rent phases out. And once they complete 100% shares, they surrender the shares, and the title of the house is transferred to them at that point. But before that is done, the house is evaluated. Any gain or loss is also shared because this is a partnership. So co-op share 10% and members share 90%, whether it's a gain or loss. There are situations where member might have to sell the house before they complete 100% ownership. Maybe they get a job in Calgary, so they have to move, or Montreal, or whatever. So they are allowed, because this is a partnership, there is no fixed term, so they can sell this house and buy another one. So in such cases, if at the time of that sale, their ownership is more than 50%, then gain or loss is still 10 and 90. If it is less than 50% or less, then it is 20 and 80. And of course, the capital gain is determined by adjusting the legal cost and certain improvement to the house. This is how we progressed in the last many years, increasing the number of houses and membership. We started this co-op with $17,000 as seed money. When people asked me to take the responsibility, they gave me this $17,000 worth of checks in my hand. And thanks God, today we are worth $53 million. This is the spread. We have quite a few members in US and also in other part of the world. We don't buy houses outside of Canada, but members, just to support and encourage, they became member in US and other parts of the world. This is the authorized capital, $30 million in Islamic co-op, and I will share the Ansar Co-op a little later.